Hey everyone, this is Daniel and Kelly from FitnessBlender.com, and today is day number 2 of our 5-day fitness challenge for busy people.
So we hope your legs are nice and sore from yesterday's workout. Today we're going to give them a rest, and we're going to focus on cardio and upper body.
So you don't necessarily need any equipment for this routine, however we do suggest to use some dumbbells to make it that much more difficult.
Let's go ahead and get started with a warm-up.
Alright, get those feet going. We're going to start right into this warm-up. 30 seconds each exercise, starting off with just a regular boxer shuffle. So get those feet moving, nice and slow at first. Remember, this is just kind of a warm-up, so you don't really have to worry about pushing yourself really hard.
Do you remember this is a very quick version of a warm-up with this 5-day challenge, the under 30-minute workouts. So if you've been sitting all day long, make sure to add a couple more minutes of movement before you jump into these other more intense exercises.
Alright, got about 5 seconds left till we move to the next one, which is going to be a squatting push-pull. So just go as low as is comfortable. I know those those legs are probably a little bit sore, so limited range of motion is fine, but try to get it deeper and deeper as you go. So work against yourself, pushing those arms out, pulling them back in. Since we're working on those upper body muscles today, we want to make sure they're nice and warmed up before we start. Lungs open, nice full range of motion as you can control it, as it feels comfortable.
Have a torso twist plus a knee next. All right.
So nice slow motion, rotate across the left, right, and then pull that knee up. That's okay. Basically, you're just trying to warm up that torso, getting as much range of motion, twisting left to right as you can. That knee motion, just trying to pull that knee up as high as possible without leaning over forward towards it. Want that torso straight up and down.
Got about 5 seconds left. We'll switch to up and overs. I'm gonna go right first.
Watch me mess up on this one. I never get this one right the first repetition.
As long as you're moving,
That's
it's
right.
all good.
Again, just go down as low as is comfortable. If you can't do a full lunge off to the side, that's perfectly fine. You can do kind of a limited range of motion and just move those feet back and forth.
Next up, we're doing a slow mountain climber. So we're gonna drop down just like you would for a mountain climber, a lot slower. So just switch those feet out one at a time.
Kind of let those hips drop a little bit as you have that foot underneath you. Just stretch that hip out and that glute. Just a nice slow controlled motion, keeping those lungs open if you need to. Being down in this position is a little difficult. You can do this off of an elevated platform like a chair, a bed, or even a desk or a countertop.
All right, toe touch kicks.
So nice slow, kick that foot in front, reach out with the opposite hand, just alternate back and forth. You're trying to get that leg up as high as you can without bending that knee. So a little bit of a bend is fine. You don't need to have it perfectly locked out. You just don't want to be doing one of these kinds of things.
Again, if you need to, if you're brand new to this kind of thing, hold on to a countertop or a wall for balance. Just make you feel a little safer. We've got jumping jacks next.
So nice full jumping jack. Start out slow. Those shoulders and legs are still a little bit tired.
And
otherwise, start working that repetition in a little bit faster.
if you want to cut out the jumping altogether, if you have bad knees or neighbors downstairs, this is a way to keep from making either one of them mad. 10 seconds left. If you want to make it harder, start to bend your knees and sink into a little bit of squat even.
Alright, go back to that boxing shuffle. That's the end of the warm-up. We'll be right back to start into the rest of the routine. Alright everybody, let's go ahead and get started with the workout portion of this. We have 3 exercises per group. We're going to be doing each one for 30 seconds with a 15-second break to get ready for the next exercise. So some of these we're going to be switching back and forth between weights on, so you'll need a little extra time for it. So, our first exercise is going to be a tricep dip. So let's go ahead and get started with that one. About 4 seconds left. So drop down on the ground if you don't have something to do a tricep dip off of. Just nice and slow, drop those elbows straight out back behind you. Getting those hips as low to the ground as you can. If you can do this off of either a bench or a chair, something that gives you a little bit more range of motion, by all means do that instead. But if you don't have it, you can always do it off the ground just like us. Just keep it going.
5 seconds left. Okay, next up we're doing bicep curls.
So grab those weights, whatever weight you want to use for it. Just a traditional bicep curl. So palms facing forward. Keep those elbows right at those shoulders. Hands start them up. Curl that hand straight up to that shoulder, but don't let that elbow creep forward. Nice and slow back down, full extension, and right back up again. Keep those lungs open and a flat back. Concentrate on that form. Just doing this for time so you don't have to keep track of repetitions, which is always better for us.
10 seconds left.
Just keep those lungs open. Focus on that form. You should be lifting a really nice heavy weight. And drop that weight back down.
Now we're going for our cardio component. So this is shoulder slap push-ups.
So out in a plank position or push-up position to start off with.
Follow me for the easier version. Here we go.
So harder versions all the way out on those toes.
So this is one of those times when you want to make sure that you're leading with a different hand each time, just to keep your brain awake and in the game. So if you start with one hand one time, start with the other next.
An easy way to remember is whichever hand you use last, use that one again to start the next round.
All right, back to those tricep dips.
All right, so we're gonna be flipping back over again, down on the ground with those hands behind you. Like I said, if you have the option for it, do it either off of an elevated platform like a chair or a coffee table or bench, as long as it's nice and stable. All right, elbows straight back behind you, dropping down as low as is comfortable. Keep those lungs open, focusing on trying to get as much range of motion on that elbow as you can. All this focus should be bending that elbow as much as possible. These things burn so quick.
They do. It's such a small range of motion too. All right, bicep curls.
All right, back to those weights. And in case you don't see it on the video, I'm using 25 pounds per hand.
I did 15 for the first, and I've dropped down the second for the, 12 for the second round.
It's a nice slow motion. Like I said before, it's the end. You want to make sure you're lifting as heavy of a weight as you can while still keeping clean form for the full amount of time.
Inhale on the way down, exhale on the way up. During the hardest part of the motion, you always want to be pushing air out.
And let it relax. Shoulder slap, push-ups, one more time. All right, so this is our last exercise for this group. Now we're gonna move on to our next group as soon as we're finished with this one. So get out in that push-up position and start it. If you're doing the hardest version, you want to try to make sure you're keeping a nice straight line from shoulder to ankle. Trying to get as little sway left or right as you can when you lift that hand up. The main thing you want to do is don't open your chest up. You want to keep that chest facing down towards the ground.
All right, that's it for group one already. So grab your weights. You're going to go into a chest fly. I'm grabbing 15 pounds for each hand on this one.
I'm using 25 again for my chest fly. So flies are harder than a full chest press. So I'm going to use a little bit less weight. So nice and slow down, as low as is comfortable. Right back over top of that chest. Very, very slight bend in that elbow. Again, if you have a regular workout bench handy, definitely use that rather than laying on the ground. It gives you a little more range of motion.
Otherwise, if you're laying on the ground like me, go ahead and push up into your heels to go into a bridge, and you'll get a little bit of glute action in there as well. Right. Next up, we're doing the opposite of that exercise. So a fly.
So this one's relatively difficult for me, so I'm dropping quite a bit, down to 10 pounds per. So nice flat back, pull up and out to the side. And you notice we're not giving ourselves a whole lot of time to move from one to the next. That's perfectly fine. We're trying to move as quickly as possible here. Perfectly flat back, slow pull up and out to the side. Try to let those hands drop down as slowly as it takes you to get those hands up.
All right, next up we're doing a row plus a hop. So we're throwing in some core action and with working the upper back. So go up into a tall plank. So you row, and hop up and back out. Again, make sure each time you have a different arm leading.
You're gonna have a tendency with this one to try and rock left to right. Try to keep it relatively stable. Shoulders flat down to the ground again.
Beginners, you can just step up instead of a full hop. And you can always do this from your knees too.
Whew.
Alright, going back to round 2 of the chest flies.
Trying to remember what weight I'm using here. Again, slow motion. Try to get a full range of motion, slight bend in your elbow. Get down as low to the ground as you can, then back up straight over top of that shoulder joint. Don't worry about bringing those hands in any closer. If you're tapping those weights together, you're going too far.
So if you'll notice with the super quick transitions and minimal rest periods here, then your strength training ends up being the cardiovascular challenge, which is kind of ideal if you're in that really crunch for time situation. You still want a good workout.
All right, that reverse fly, flat back. You want to bend over as flat to the ground as you possibly can. Arms up and out to the side. And just like Kelly said, when you're moving this quick, even with strength training, you should get that heart pumping like crazy. You should be breathing heavy. This actually turns into its own cardio routine.
It's actually my favorite kind of workout.
Yeah. 5 seconds left. Wow.
All right.
One more exercise. Then we're going to take a little
Row
bit of
with
a
the
break.
hop. All right, so again, I'm going to show you the beginner modifications for this one. Just go off of your knees. Row. If you want, you can even add in knees like this.
To counterweight that dumbbell, your body's gonna have a tendency to want to rock side to side. It's okay to let it do it a little bit, but try to limit as much as you can.
All right. Good job, guys. You've earned your first water break. So make sure you don't get comfortable anywhere. Don't stop moving, but grab a drink of water and we'll be right back.
All right, hope you had a long enough water break. Get those feet moving again, back in that boxer shuffle. We're gonna be going back into our routine here. Same setup, this time we're starting off with a lateral ventral raise. So grab your weights for that. It should be something relatively light. Arms come straight up in front for the ventral raise, and then straight out to the sides for the lateral raise. Just keep alternating back and forth. Try to keep that torso perfectly straight up and down. As you bring those weights up in front of your body, you're gonna have a tendency to lean back a little bit to counterbalance that weight. Make sure you lean from your ankles, not from your hips, and definitely not from your lower back.
5 seconds left. All right, next up we're going for pullovers. So you're gonna use one weight, so you likely need a heavier weight. I'm gonna use, I'll use 12 this time. I've been slacking off on my strength trainings. 3 seconds.
So I'm using actually 20 pounds per hand for my pullovers. So with this one, your body's gonna have a tendency to lift that lower back, kind of arch that back up off the ground. Just keep it steady everything nice and tight, contracting those abs at the same time as using those lats and shoulders to pull those arms over.
Keep it going.
All right, back up.
I'm running out of space here.
All right, next one is fly jacks. It's basically just a modified jumping jack. Those arms in front. All right, start them up.
So we're well over halfway through this workout already. Nice and quick. 20 seconds left.
Really try to get that cardio up with this one. So move as fast as you can comfortably, keeping those arms nice and rigid, those legs nice and rigid. You shouldn't feel like you're swinging around.
5 seconds. All right.
And relax. Back to those lateral ventral raises. So I'm going back to 10 pounds for mine. Nice flat back, straight up and down. Start with that ventral raise in front, straight up, back down, then out to the side for that lateral raise, and back over.
So make sure you're not doing any cheating, no swinging the weights, no using momentum.
If you want to get a little more range of motion out of it than Kelly and I are doing, that's fine. Just limit to whatever's comfortable. So that shoulder socket with those palms facing down does have a bit of a limited range of motion, but just do whatever's comfortable. And let that relax. We got pullovers next. Back down and round.
A little harder, I'm lifting 15 this time.
Still using 20 per hand for mine. And while you're doing these pullovers, keep a slight bend in that elbow. If you want to keep those palms facing down towards your toes, that's one way of doing this pullover. If you want to rotate those hands so the palms are facing in, same exercise, just slightly different part of that muscle.
I'm having some space issues here.
Pushing into me.
Huh. Alright, next up is a fly jack. So use all that extra time to do at least a boxer shuffle. Don't ever be still.
All right, feet together, hands together, and start them up.
Lower impact option, just take out the jumping. Like I said, if you want to make it harder, add a little bit of a squat in there. You can lunge to each side.
Try to get that full range of motion on those arms. Don't stop short. You want to go all the way back, level with that chest.
Faster, faster, faster. Good job. All right,
back that boxer shuffle. We're moving to the next group. Doing pike push-ups next. So like a downward facing dog kind of position, feet about shoulder width apart, hands about shoulder width apart. Just going to drop out into that position. The hardest version with those legs straight. Drop it down and back up.
If you want beginner version, just do the same thing from your knees. It's a lot easier. If you can, throw in a couple of harder repetitions and just alternate.
To make sure,
pushing yourself.
Oh, sorry. To make sure you're really focusing on those shoulders, try to keep as straight of a line as you can from wrist to hip. So really press that chest down, push that head down between those hands rather than out in front.
Right.
All right, arm circles are next. You can use weight for this one if you want to. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. You can use a little bit here.
Grab 3 pounds. The weight adds up quickly with these.
Yeah. So I'm just using a 2.5 pound slug. So we're doing a forward motion first. You're drawing a circle around your shoulder rather than in front of your shoulder. So you want to go behind your body and in front of your body.
Right, reverse directions. So if you're going forward, go backward and vice versa.
Ooh. This always burns like crazy. Keep that form.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Oh boy, okay. That's humbling.
Yeah.
All right, next up we're doing a switch foot mountain climber.
So down to push-up position.
So
Hop your foot. And come up and drive that knee.
The low impact version, you're just gonna be doing all of it a lot slower. Taking out any of the hopping motions.
The harder version is basically just a lot faster. Just move as quick as you can, still keeping that balance and keeping as clean a form as you can. All right, starting that one over. This is our last round, or our last section. So back to that pike push-up. About 5 seconds left. Feet about shoulder width apart, hands about shoulder width apart. Remember, straight line from wrist to hip. Doing that push-up position. Nice straight line through that back. Pressing that chest down. Whew, all right, back up.
Arm circles.
If you want those weights for them, grab them again. Otherwise, drop to just body weight. Whew, this is gonna burn. All right, arms straight out, circles forward. You know, it's not gonna be good when your arms never stop burning.
Can you make it?
I think so.
All the way through?
All right, switch directions. Just go to that happy place. Don't think about the pain. Think about watching that form, nice clean motion. Yeah! Okay. One more exercise to go. Got that switch foot burpee, or sorry, that switch foot mountain climber.
Right. 3,
Down
2,
push up.
1.
Drive it quick. Pull that knee up as high as you can. Switch those feet as fast as you can. Almost done. And
here we go.
Get those feet moving. We'll be right back to start into that cool down. All right, keep those feet moving. Slowly bring that heart rate down. We're gonna do each one of these for roughly 30 seconds, but we're trying to do it nice and slow to bring that heart rate down slow. Just keep those feet moving for a few more seconds. Starting our first stretch.
Go ahead and plant your feet. Take your arms out, stretch them up overhead again. Nice and tall. Rocking back and forth each side really quickly. Nice smooth movements. All right, now swing. We're going forward and overhead, some ventral swings. Make sure you're breathing this whole time, yeah. All right, now in front of your body, same thing, same idea. You're swinging in front. Make sure a different arm is on top each time.
Focusing on trying to stretch out that chest and that upper shoulder, across that shoulder blade.
All right, now take one hand, grab the elbow, pull it back behind your head. Feel a nice overhead stretch.
Just keep those lungs open again. A lot of these, you're gonna have a tendency to want to contract your abs and hold your breath. Try to keep it all relaxed.
All right, go ahead and switch sides. So tomorrow we will be doing a HIIT workout with some abs. And we'll provide low impact cardio options as well. So if you're not ready for HIIT yet, we've got you covered. Now take your arm, pull it across your body. So you feel a nice stretch to the back of your arm here.
So yeah, tomorrow if you want to really work on that core, those abs, those back obliques, you'll definitely want to tune in for tomorrow.
All right, go ahead and switch sides. Now, if you can find somewhere around you an open wall or something that you can place your hand flat against, we're gonna stretch out using a wall next.
Now, if you notice, Kelly and I are always kind of shifting back and forth, shifting the weight on our feet. That's primarily to keep us from locking our knees out. You want to keep that blood flowing through your system, so just a little bit of a shift from time to time helps out a lot.
All right, so find your open wall. Put your hand flat against it with your fingers pointing back behind you, and then rotate until you feel a nice stretch to that shoulder and your chest.
Again, lungs open, keep checking yourself, make sure you're not holding your breath. Same thing on the side.
You tired?
I am. So with a lot of these workouts that we do, you should be feeling sore the next day. If you're not, you should be working a little bit harder the next time you do it. But if you are, make sure you take a little extra time to stretch, maybe multiple times throughout the course of the day, to help ease that soreness a little bit. Stretching can help quite a lot for that.
All right, now stand, shoulders a little wider than shoulder width apart, clasp your hands behind your back, and tip forward. So you get a nice stretch to the shoulders as well as the back of the thighs. Your hamstrings are probably going to talk to you after yesterday's workout, but it should feel good. And again, just kind of move around, find any spots where you're tight. This should feel really good, no pain. All right. Let's do downward dog to cobra, and we'll call it. We'll walk out nice and slow. Try and press your head down in between your shoulders. Try to get your heels on the ground. It's okay if you can't.
Especially if you're feeling sore from tomorrow, this is going to feel a lot more difficult than normal. So if you need to bend those knees just a little bit, that's fine. Try to straighten them out as much as you can, but also try to keep that chest nice and flat with those arms. So straight line from wrist to hip.
All right, now walk out slowly. Get a nice core stretch. Try not to lock out your elbows.
Press those shoulders down away from that neck. Ooh, I got a back pop.
All right. All right.
Okay guys, that is the end of day number 2. Drink tons and tons of water. You always want to make sure you're really well hydrated. We can't say that enough.
Yeah.
Make sure you're eating nice and clean. Go get a good meal in. If you're going to be eating right after this workout, make sure you're leaning a little bit more towards the high carbohydrate side. If you've already eaten, then your next meal should just be a nice even balance of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So, other than that, I'll see you guys day number 3.
Don't forget.
Oh.
Workout complete. You
Oh
have to say
yeah, don't want to forget that.
it. Say it.
This workout is complete. See you guys tomorrow.
See you guys tomorrow.